Israeli airstrikes on Gaza since early morning have killed at least 46 Palestinians. Al-Qahira news correspondent has reported that 32 of the victims were waiting for aid in central Gaza. Other fatalities were reported after Israeli forces bombed tents sheltering displaced people in Al-Mawasi, west of Qnews, and in areas north of Gaza City. Artillery shelling also continued in southern Qnews, targeting several areas. At least 20 Palestinians were killed, more than 100 others injured after Israeli forces opened fire near an aid distribution site in Gaza, according to Palestinian media. The attack, which took place near the Nazarene corridor, a key military route cutting through Gaza. The 6-kilometer corridor established by Israel during the war isolates Gaza City and northern areas from the south. Despite the danger, Palestinians continue risking their lives to access desperately needed aid amid rising hunger and hardship. The assault marks yet another deadly day in Gaza's deepening humanitarian crisis. Israel's finance minister says humanitarian aid should not reach Gaza and insists military operations must continue. Bezalel Smotrich reiterated his opposition to aid deliveries into Gaza, calling the war extremely difficult. He said the Israeli army seeks to weaken Hamas by controlling Gaza's population. Smotrich also stressed the need to destroy Hamas's military capabilities. The UK House of Commons welcomed sanctions on 2 Israeli ministers over incitement against Palestinians. British lawmakers expressed frustration over the situation in Gaza and backed sanctions imposed by Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich. A joint statement by foreign ministers of the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Norway and Canada accused the 2 Israeli officials of inciting violence against Palestinians.
Both privately and publicly. We were raising it before we came.
Israel's foreign minister has slammed Britain's decision to sanction 2 Israeli ministers, calling it outrageous. The government says it will meet next week to respond. Speaking alongside his Zambian counterpart in Jerusalem, Gideon Saar condemned the UK's move as unacceptable. A special Israeli cabinet meeting is planned early next week to decide on a response.
And members of the government are subjected to this kind of measures.
French leftist groups have accused their government of sending weapons to Israel since October 2023. A coalition of French left-wing parties and organizations claims the government has been supplying Israel with arms and military equipment. France's armed forces minister denied the allegation, saying no weapons were sold except for components used in defense systems like the Iron Dome. Israeli opposition parties have jointly submitted a bill to dissolve the Knesset and topple the government. Israeli media reported that all opposition factions have agreed to present the dissolution bill for voting today. They also decided to withdraw other legislative proposals to focus only on bringing down the government amid growing dissatisfaction with its handling of the ongoing war. Iran's defense minister has issued a stark warning, saying that if nuclear negotiations with the United States collapse and conflict erupts, Tehran will target all American bases in the region without hesitation. The warning came after Iran successfully tested the missile equipment with a 2-ton warhead. The minister declared full operational readiness and insisted that any threat would be met with force, adding that the United States must leave the region.